we are going to see an explosion in using different multimodal business use cases in near future. But it is equally important to create such multimodal app properly in a production grade setup. For example, in my previous video, I talked in details being a code deep dive, why you should not customize Google provided playground code as part of their Gemini 2.0 release for your production use, citing the security reason. In this video, that's why we will explore how exactly you should design and plan to create your next multimodal web application for real life use cases. And at the end of the video, I have a special Christmas giveaway for you. So please stay till the end of this video for the free giveaway. I am sure this giveaway will make this Christmas even more fun for you and your family. Now, with that said, let's start the video by sharing my screen. Shall we? Hi, welcome to my screen. So in this video, we are going to show you how exactly I have built one of the multimodal app that I have already showcased you a couple of videos back. And this is about the Santa AI agent. And I told you when I have demonstrated that Santa AI agent that it is almost production ready code. And I will actually tell you in this video kind of a deep dive and also to look at from the design point of view about how I have designed the code to make it more sort of production ready. So let's deep dive. Now, again, if you have not seen the Santa AI demo or the Santa AI deep dive that I have done before, where I have shown you some of the production feature, I will attach both the link of the video in the description, as well as you should be able to see that on the screen. So whenever you have finished this video, you can easily go ahead and check those two videos. Now, let's go to the design, how I have designed the Santa AI to make it more like a production ready. Now, Santa AI was never planned to be a SaaS, so that is why I had to be very careful, because Santa, when I was designing it, I was mainly focusing on creating it for especially for the kids to have some kind of fun communication with Santa. And I have used a special 11 Labs model for the voice, and I really liked it, the end product, of course. Again, I will attach the link so you can go ahead and check it. Now, coming into the design, this is how the entire Santa AI agent is configured. Of course, we used LiveKit. Again, LiveKit is one of my favorite, I would say, WebRTC server. It is more matured. Of course, it has its own bug, but it's an open source project, so that is why I also use it. One of the other reason. Now, when it comes to the Santa AI code, and if I may just show you the Docker Compose file, you will see there are two codes. So one is the Santa AI agent and another is Santa UI, right? Now, coming back to the design, so when you see Santa Santa UI, that is basically a Next.js application, a full stack application. So that has a front end part and that has a back end part. So the front end part is what it's loaded into the browser, and the back end is like which will run onto the server. Now, if you remember in the last video where I have done the Gemini playground code deep dive, I have told you specifically that the playground code was leaking the API key in the browser, which is not a standard practice, which is not a secure practice that you should follow when you are creating a multimodal AI agent. And that is why I have designed this very carefully, where the AI front end, in case of Santa AI, will call the backend, which will be in the server, and the backend will have access to the LiveKit API key and secret key, and the backend will actually fetch a token, which will have a limited time window basically. So it will fetch the token and it will give the token back to the Santa AI front end. Again, that's a short-lived token. So using the token, the Santa AI frontend will call the LiveKit WebRTC server. So that means even if an attacker or someone who is using your browser or something able to get the token, because it is short-lived, he won't be able to do much with it. As soon as the token expires, it is of no use basically. So that is how it should be designed. You must ensure that you should not ever let your API key or secret key leaked out, because that can be misused, right? So that is one thing. The second thing is, again, as I have shown you the code, that Santa AI also have the Santa AI agent, right? Now, Santa AI agent is interesting, but I'll come to that later. But one of the important thing that also you need to understand is there are some more API call that is happening between front end and back end. How? Just gonna actually quickly show you if you have not seen this entire AI video before. So here I am onto the AI Center folder. I'm just gonna do docker compose up -d. So there you go. My both the front end and the agent code is loaded up. I'm gonna just come here and do localhost 3001, and we will go to the admin page. Now, if you don't know anything about this, what I'm doing, I have again covered in much more detail about a demo as well as another deep dive session about this application in previous two videos. Please go through that once this video is completed. I'm just gonna do quick login. The login credential is Santa admin. The password is made by Kno2gether. I'll just log in, and then you see this live kit URL API secret and Santa agent key. When you save all these details like your OpenAI API key, 11's Lab API key, Grok API key for STT for AI token and for TTS. And once you save the Santa agent config, what happens basically is Santa AI frontend calls backend, and the backend actually knows, the server part actually knows where the Santa AI agent is running. So that means the live kit agent, which is actually going to do all the communication, is not accessible directly through the internet, right? We have kept this in the server to server communication only to make our AI agent secure, not accessible through internet again. And this is why I also love WebRTC framework, because in WebRTC framework, your client joins the live kit server, and then your agent joins the live kit server as a worker, and they both get into a meeting room, and then you have that discussion, right? So instead of a client server architecture. Now, if you want to know more about WebRTC, let me know in the comments. I can actually cover you more about WebRTC, why you should consider about WebRTC than WSS or any other HTTP and REST-based protocol for multimodal use cases. I can cover that in details, but please let me know in the comments so that I know your learning interest. Now, coming back to this point, again, what I was saying is whenever you save this info in the admin page, or so when you come to the Guardian page, you can add your kid details here, whatever details you want to add about your kid, or you can now even add the guest details. This is a new addition, of course. So let's say in your Christmas party, or you have some family gathering on Christmas and you're bringing your family members, you can add their details beforehand to Santa AI, so Santa AI know about them, and you can actually make Santa AI communicate with them, and Santa AI can do some magical communication because it already knows some context about the user. It can basically surprise the user. So these details have now been added into the latest version of the Santa AI agent. And of course, you can also add your kid details or whoever is coming to your Christmas party or to your house actually. Now, whenever you do all this submission, like send to Santa and all this thing, what is happening under the hood is their front end is calling the back end, and the back end actually knows where the Santa AI agent is running, and it is actually calling and server to server API call to update the agent. That means there is no direct internet access, and this is how you can protect your AI agent from being exposed to the internet, from being misused by different attackers or malicious actors. And this is what I have been telling you in the last video about as well, that please do not use any playground component for your production multimodal use cases. Now that you know how the front end or the UI application or the full stack application works, let's now focus on how I have also created the agent. Now, Santa AI agent, the Docker file that you have seen previously, this one. So this Santa UI agent is running two things. It is running the agent as a normal agent, and I have covered about live kit agent in a lot more detail previously. So if you have not seen about live kit AI agent previously, please go through the playlist. I will attach the playlist. It has I think almost 6 videos in it, or 5 videos. I don't remember even, but you can basically know anything and everything about how the live kit agent works if you go through the playlist. So go through that one. Now again, coming to this discussion, so the Santa AI live kit agent is running there as I have shown you before. Now what I've done with this particular instance, I have also added a HTTP server, which is fast API based HTTP server on top of the live kit agent. So what happens usually, I'm going to show you the code base as well as part of this deep dive video, but just to complete the design element, what happens is whenever the backend needs to update anything, like the as part of the admin API update or as part of the Guardian API update, it actually calls the fast API server. So this is more sort of the interface for the LiveKit agent. And once it receives those requests, let's say for admin request with all the API keys and everything, then it will update the LiveKit agent with all the API details and the provider details, and then it will start the agent. So if this fast API server basically is controlling the LiveKit agent, and it also updates the knowledge. For example, when you add a kid detail or when you add your family member detail or your guest details, it updates the knowledge base, which is read by the LiveKit agent when it does the communication basically. So this is how the entire thing is designed. Now I'm going to go through the backend code and I'm going to show you how exactly it is being done. So this is the Santa AI agent code. As you can see, there are a couple of files. There's a main.py, there's a Santa with rag.py, and then there is an API server.py, and then there is a config manager.py. Now, all of these files are really important. Now, config underscore manager.py is nothing but the config that the Santa AI agent needs to run, and that is what the LiveKit AI URL, OpenAI API key. Of course, we're just using OpenAI API key to create the embedding with the knowledge and nothing else, but we are using the grok here for this particular Santa AI agent to make it almost free to use, because grok is free, of course, and it is very fast as well. And we are using deepgram for STD, and we are using 11 lakhs for TTS, and we are using a voice ID for the Christmas, for the Santa voice basically. And I have explained all this before anyway. Now let's go to the API server.py. API server.py is where we have defined all the API route basically, like all of this, like update complete, update admin config and everything. Now let's take a look at this important one, which is admin config post request. So what happens when you hit the admin config post request, which is what you are hitting as part of this particular page. When you submit it, it actually calls the backend to call this admin config. What happens is it basically update the config manager with whatever config element that you have sent from the UI, and then it basically tries to start the Santa agent. That's all, right? Now let's see how it is trying to start the Santa agent. It's basically running this function called instead run Santa agent. Now, when you go to run Santa agent, what it is doing, it is loading all the environment variables that you have sent from this particular UI here. And once it has loaded it, it first checks whether the Santa agent is already running or not using a sub process status command. And then if it is fine that it is already running, and then in that case, what it does, it basically stop that Santa agent instance, because the way it is designed is, let's say you have changed the API key or you have updated the provider, then you of course need to restart the Santa agent to load it up, right? So that is why it is doing that without restarting the Docker container, by the way, right? So this is all running as part of the Docker container. So your Docker container doesn't get restarted. We are using sub process here. So using the sub process, we are restarting the Santa agent. That is why your Docker container stays active. And then it update the environment variable file, and after that it basically starts the Santa agent using the sub process. Now what happens in the Santa agent? Let's take a look. Santa agent is basically exactly same like how I have explained you the RAG based LiveKit AI agent. It is exactly same. It is nothing else. So you have the system message here, you load all the 11 labs key, deepgram API key, and then here you create the STT and you create the LLM with grok, as you can see. And then we are using the 11 labs.tts, and we are setting the voice, and where we are setting the voice, you can see it here. Here we are setting the voice profile, and this is the premium voice ID that we are using to have the Santa voice basically for this particular agent. Now that's all it is doing. There is nothing much more to explain. Again, if you want to know more about the RAG agent, how to define RAG agent using LiveKit, I've already covered that as well. I'll attach the link for the entire playlist for you to check out. And then in the Docker file, all we are doing is just making everything, all of this code, wrapping it up as a Docker file so that it is easy for you to maintain and run. And I have already covered about how to run the Docker Compose file in much more detail. So that's it I wanted to share in this video. Mainly, I wanted to share you this particular diagram this is something that you really should remember when you are designing your multimodal agent. And now you can ask, why not use Gemini 2, right? It's why to use the Grok, because Gemini 2 is already multimodal, and I am 100% with you in that in regard. So that is why hopefully in within next couple of videos I am going to actually show you how you can also use LiveKit as an WebRTC server and integrate Google Gemini with it. So please stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, because more such videos are coming up. And in this channel we also cover a lot of the business use cases specific to this particular AI disruptions that is happening around the globe. So that's all as part of the video. And the next part is I'm really gonna talk about quickly the giveaway. Now what you will get as part of the giveaway, and this is really special to you. I actually part of this anti-AI agent release, I have made this anti-AI agent under a small nominal fees, but then the friend who have or the colleague who have suggested me about this anti-AI agent idea, he said that the Christmas is all about giveaway, so I should not really charge for this. So that is why what I have done for you is I have made this Santa AI backend and all the agents and everything for completely free. So you can download this particular code which contains the Docker Compose file and all of this code, and you can easily just run it using Docker Compose up minus d command by setting up few of the configuration. I have talked about in details how to set this all up in another previous video. I will attach the link as well, and you will also be able to get that video link as part of the product checkout that you will do. And let me show you how you can actually get it for free first. So what you need to do is to come here in this particular URL. Just gonna delete that. So this is the URL, Magical Christmas with Santa AI. I'm gonna paste the link in the video description. And all you need to do here, you will see three package here. Don't get confused. So I'll just quickly explain to you. This is the package which will give you the Santa AI agent UI, which is the Next.js application, as well as the agent in a Docker Compose wrapper, so that you can run it in the coming Christmas. So this is what you will select, and you select I want this, and this is around 29.99. And as a discount code, you are just going to put Kno2gether Christmas, and I'm going to again put the discount code in the video description. And once you do apply, you will see that this is becoming 0, so you don't have to pay anything, and then just click get and you will be able to get it. Now if you want to have access to the source code, because if you're interested in the production like source code in the UI code as well as the agent code with all that I have shown you right now, you can get that by selecting this package. Now initially I was only giving access to the code as part of the course that I have launched for the SaaS member, but this is a Christmas giveaway. So what you can do is just select this, and then again select I want this, and use the same discount code and apply it. You get straight £30 discount on this one, and you can have it. The reason I'm just keeping it behind a small paper, because that will make my Christmas delightful as well, and this is how you can actually support me, the channel as well. So this is really some sustainable way for me to create more such content or valuable content, hopefully for you. Now I have also launched the SaaS course, which I have talked about probably in every video. You can grab the SaaS course as well and use the same discount code. Now the SaaS course will give you access to the SaaS course as well as our weekly catch up as well as the source code of these files. And just select this product and use the same discount code that I have just shown you, and you will get £30 straight discount. So with this discount code, what you are getting is you are getting the SaaS course even cheaper price, plus you are getting access to the code, and you are also getting access to our weekly catch up with the other SaaS business owners and masterminds that are coming together on every Sunday. So that's what the giveaway is all about. If you don't need the SaaS course, or if you don't need the code, that's absolutely fine. I just want to give away the Santa that I have created for you to try, test it, give me some feedback how you want to improve this. I would be more than happy to improve this much more. But that's all I wanted to share as part of this Christmas giveaway. And I really hope that you would like this AI Santa and have fun with it in upcoming Christmas. Now, with that said, I'm going to end the video, and I really hope that you have had some value out of this video. If yes, don't forget to give it a like so that this video reaches out to other audience like you and they are also able to learn something new. And again, please stay tuned, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Take care, and I'll see you on to the next one.